So, when I say this is, you say new tone. This is new tone. This is. When I say this is, you say new tone. This is. This is. People in the back, when I say this is, you say new tone. This is. This is. This is new tone.
Welcome back to the Austin Young Show. I'm super excited to announce that I have bad operation on the show. We recorded in trees in the green room, so you might hear a door squeaking all the time. Need some WD-40. But guys, we got a lot to talk about. This is Peachy off Bad Operation's self-titled album. And then after that, you'll hear Set the Tone of Breaking the Rain.
Hi, we're Bad Operation, and you're listening.
Hi, we're Bad Operation, and you are listening to the Austin Young Show.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Austin Young Show, and I am at Trees currently at the sound check for RX Bandits, but I'm sat with one of my favorite bands, Bad Operation, out of New Orleans. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
What's going on? Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you. Do you guys mind just introducing yourselves real quick?
Sure. I'm D-Ray. I play organ and trombone.
I'm Dominic. I sing.
I'm Greg. I play the bass.
I'm just going to get straight into it. Bearded Gentleman called y'all's self-titled album one of the most important ska albums. How does that make y'all feel? That's quite a write-up right there.
Yeah, that's an overwhelming thing to hear.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, what an honor of a thing to be said about music that we created, and it's something that we hold very dear. We're very happy to be from New Orleans and carrying that torch of kind of this full circle moment of ska returning to its sort of roots in New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm over on the other side of the microphone blushing. I know you can't see me, but the idea that anything we've done is considered important, I'm taken aback. So it's heartwarming. Sometimes it feels like pressure because like we did not start this thing for pressure. It was like the whole album, the whole band is, if I had to like try to summarize it into one word, fun. And making it more than that or something feels like it could be, I don't know, it just gets heady, but it feels good, and I'm honored that anyone likes the music, anyone likes the record, and
we're just happy to be here.
Yeah, just happy to be here.
Feed the kids, eat the rich. You are quite the lyricist.
Thank you.
How does it, what is your process? I know that's just such a generic fucking question and everybody asks, but what inspires you? Because I know in past interviews you've said that you're very jazz-centric was your first love. So what, obviously, you know, jazz to ska isn't the biggest leap, but lyric-wise, what has been your biggest inspo?
Yes, I appreciate that question. Oh, that's I have to think about it a little bit. I don't know. I feel firstly that kind of like what Greg said is like this music is kind of like around simplicity and like essence. So my music, my lyrics are like a response to that, always trying to like be the most concise with words, most effective with words. Yeah. And so I think the music is kind of like giving me an opportunity to like kind of flex that lyrical muscle of saying what's important or saying what's right or what's spontaneous, but it's also fun and kind of like has an edge to it. I mean, I could list a whole bunch of singers, you know, who inspire me lyrically. One thing I can say is I don't consider myself a lyrical storyteller. I don't consider myself someone who's like able to like draw a character from beginning to middle to end. I do think that I'm more of like a poetical guy where it's like, this is the idea and this is the picture I'm painting, you know? So.
But it's crazy because your lyrics are quite visual. You know, when you guys were creating the album, obviously we were in a very different time, and the album I feel like resonates more now after 5 years than it did when it first came out. So I mean, you guys have never held back politically or anything like that. I mean, how does it feel to know that, like, you guys are bringing kind of the politics back to ska, the, like, what it, you know, it was a music created to fight racism and battle injustices, and I feel like you guys are kind of on the forefront of that, especially lyrically.
Thank you for saying that. I think also, like, I feel like we all have like a different kind of like experience of Bad Operation. You know, I feel like inside Bad Operation, it's like a different. The process looks a little bit different. You know, I think the outcome can seem social political. You know. But inside Bad Operation, I feel we all are like seeing the importance of taking care of our corner. Of
I just want WD-40 right now to get
I know, right?
No, you're good.
You might be able to lock the door.
No, you're good.
Yeah. I feel like, we just try to take care of our corner of the universe. And then, like, that is a social political message. Yeah.
So, talking about taking care of your own little corner of the world, New Orleans, known for world over for ska, jazz, or not ska, jazz, blues. How has it embraced you? Like, are they carrying the torch, or are you one of those bands that are like, you're more famous outside of your hometown than you are?
We're back up a little bit. You kind of like, you went back on what you said about being known for ska, but like, and it's not known for ska, but like, one thing that I'm proud of what we're doing, and when we do these interviews and we talk about it, is that we cite that New Orleans R&B was a big, huge influence to Jamaican ska, like the beginning of this music. It is very different, but there is a lot of heavy influence from the Caribbean, New Orleans, back to the Caribbean, and then in this entomology of ska music passing around the world. And so then to your second part of your question, I mean, being a band in New Orleans is different. Like, there's a lot of bands in New Orleans. There's a lot of stuff going on. We are so thankful for the support that we have there. But I mean, it holds on to us and hugs us like we're its brother, we're its child. We're just another few. Yeah, we're just paying dues. We're just people who live in New Orleans. Like, we like like most of the people in my life know me as their barista more than like the guy in Bad Operation, and they think what we do is really sick. I think time
it's
will
crazy
tell.
because I'm nervous as fuck talking to you.
Yeah, well, don't be. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, we don't know how big this is. We don't know what we're doing. We're like straight up, we are just here to have fun and be with each other. The five of us, we are just here to like, we are on the ride, man.
Yeah, I think kind of aligned with what Dominic had already said earlier. Like, whatever goodness that comes out of this band, it's been strengthened by our opportunity to become closer friends, like through the music itself. And like, when we go on these tours, when we play these shows, or like when we have rehearsal, we quite literally like sit together, we breathe together, we live life beside each other. We're fathers, we're teachers. Dominic works as a teacher at a music school in town. Like, D-Ray and I serve coffee. Like, Brian's working as a music producer, and Rob's like literally harvesting oysters. And it's like, when we get time, we make this music together, and the music is informed by our friendship and our love for one another. And so, that is where New Orleans comes into play. And like, that is where we're tied.
Right. And to go back to like, the like socio-political statements and all of that, like, it is just naturally ingrained into our music just because of who we are and where we're from and this time that we're living in. And like, we're not like, all right, how are we going to write the perfect protest song, or how are we going to relate to people? Like, it just happens because that's where we're at. And I think that we're open to listening to the spirit of music and working with it. We literally feel like we are tapping into something that we are listening to and working with, and it's not contrived. We keep it as simple as possible. If something feels good and it works, then it works.
So it's like one of those, you didn't set out to be leaders. Somehow y'all just got that title essentially.
I guess that's what you want to. I don't know, man. You no comment? I don't know. No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think I don't want to be put on a pedestal. Just like I don't think anybody should really be put on a pedestal. Period. Like there are no gods or heroes in this present, like in our realm. Go for it.
What I will say is that actually the five of us are leaders of the band, you know? Each one is a leader of the band. I don't think we're leaders of anyone outside of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But I do think the five of us like individually lead this band, you know what I'm saying? In that context, I can say that we are leaders. But outside of the context of the band, as far as like, you know, this kind of like idol figure thing,
Yeah.
we really kind of like, I don't know, like that paradigm is broken. It just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like we've tried it. We've tried that. You know what I'm saying? And I think Bad Operation is like saying like we've tried that way. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work, you know?
Well, I am going to circle back to New Orleans real quick. On an interview about 5 years ago, y'all said the Musicians Alliance. Basically, people were getting paid $50 for 4 hours to play on Frenchman Street. Has shit even gotten any better?
I feel
Like, because here in Dallas, it is definitely not. Yeah.
That's the most research interview we've ever done.
I know, right? That was crazy. You pulled that up, Musicians Alliance. Yeah, no, I mean, that's a hard battle to get musicians paid. I actually recently ran into a neighbor of mine who is also involved in Musicians Alliance. Greg helped with that. But more musicians are unionizing, are joining the union, which is good.
Hey, fucking men.
Yeah, so that's good. And I think more younger people are getting involved in the union, which is good. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand about that. I took on that work, and I felt at the end of it really kind of overwhelmed, you know, and so small, you know, like I really didn't have anything much to contribute, and I didn't know anything, you know. And so I stopped, right? But I felt like there were things that I could contribute to, you know? And they might have been small, but like they made a significant impact to the people that I interacted with. Yeah, and so that's kind of my social political statement, my personal social political statement.
But do you feel like things are getting better or worse for musicians as a whole?
I don't know about easier or harder, but you definitely have to be smarter with how you traverse it. And I think everyone has a different set of scenarios. For us, we have 5 members, 3 of which are parents. So right off the bat, if you're in a band, you've got all of these financial whatever hurdles that you have to get in line to be able to do this, right? And then you throw in, you know, your jobs, your careers, whatever, your family, your children, daycare schedules, et cetera, et cetera. We do weekend runs and tour very little based on a lot of that, you know? So we can't, back in the day, from the time we were 16 to now, we could just tour and lose money and didn't really think about it because we were doing it for fun, kicks, music, you know. And unfortunately,
I mean, to an extent, like touring used to be to kind of to promote the band, and
sure.
Now touring is, for us, at least this band, it at least sustains itself, whereas that was not always the case. And so I feel very lucky that when we do tour, we're able to make it work for us, which involves a lot of planning. It involves other people. Brent, I got to shout out him for the work that he's done to help us to get, you know, in the spots that we've been in, and like, as well as, you know, the Bad Time Records crew and like Ska Punk International, like anyone that's like kind of helped us to have a fabric to be a part of, you know, has enabled us to be able to tour at all. And part of what D-Ray was saying is like, without that, we probably wouldn't be able to consider touring. But like I feel like we're one of the, I mean, we are definitely not at all rich. I mean, this shit, we break even basically, you know, and like make some money on top of it, but not a lot. And it's like, we're lucky to say that.
Touring works for us because we have the help of so many people. You know, we have a lot of people on our side.
And partially because we're lucky that the album resonated, as you said earlier, which is not something we were expecting. That was not in a plan of ours.
Yeah, I think it's also strategic to a certain extent. Opportunities come and we say yes or no to them based on what we're able to do, and I think that also sets us up for better opportunities in the future. I feel like generally the trend is feeling like we're going upward. Yeah, but I feel like with each promotion we have to earn. With each promotion we get, we have to earn the promotion.
Is there anybody that kind of helps make this all come together that never gets love, that you would love to give some love to right now?
Greg. Like Dominic said, we're all leaders of this band.
Thank
but
you.
Greg designs all of our merch, organizes the merch. Greg is the design eye behind this whole band, the logo, the name, everything. So he gets due, but given a chance, I'll give him some more due.
Well, guys, like I said, I know that your time is precious. So I've got 2 more questions. 3 if I could squeeze it in quick.
This is great. Yeah, you're doing great.
I don't think we're rushing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I always just like to give you y'all's time. I know you need to take your naps, do whatever you got to do before you get on stage.
And I call the family.
No sleep till home. So, then what on that requisite? What would you say is advice? Like a 15-year-old comes up to you and says, "I love New Tone. I want to be Bad Operation." What's the advice you give them?
Listen to Lee Scratch Perry.
That's cool.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
I don't want to try to explain. The foundation of this music is in dub. Lee Perry put together the original a lot of the original recordings for Bob Marley. If you want to take this music forward, there's no better place to look than the foundation.
That's a good one. I would say be patient. Learn your craft, play music, be patient, because you'll know when it's working. But not every failure is a dead end. Because music is full of failures. I think life is full of failures. And you gotta just keep going if you really believe in your heart.
So basically just learn to accept a beat down, because maybe
that's life.
Yeah, right? Yeah, pretty much. Dominic, what about you, man?
I think gratitude is really important. I think being grateful for what how far music has already brought you is a really important thing to remember, because I think as musicians it could be easy to be like, woe is me, and complain about my lot and be like, oh my God, man, I'm not doing that or I'm not doing that. But I do feel also in my own experience, I've had that attitude, but I've also had to stop and realize how far music has taken me, and it's given me things that I can't really put into words, and I can't that are only gifts to me, and so trust music.
Trust music.
That's yeah.
Well, now I've got 2 more questions, guys, and these are a little more fun. Pretty much everybody in the United States at some point is going to go to New Orleans on vacation. You guys live in one of the coolest cities in the country. Where is the punk club or ska club that they have to go to and visit?
Well, this relates to the last thing I just said. You got to walk into Domino Sound Records and go buy you some vinyl from Lee Scratch Perry. Matt, who runs that shop, is a gem. He is a beautiful, sweet, curmudgeon anarchist who loves reggae music with the entirety of his being, to an extent that I can only admire. And go to Domino Sound Records.
Oh, the punk place?
Yeah. What is your favorite
punk
venue
spot?
to go to? Yeah,
My favorite venue in New Orleans to go to. I like to hang around Hey Coffee. I don't know. I don't really go to shows, man. I'm a musician. I don't know. What am I going to go to a show for? You know, I am music. What am I going to go to listen?
But when you say like, but isn't
I'm
that
gonna
one of
go
the
to
most
a club
important
for to
parts
listen
of
to
being on
music.
the
I am
scene is like
music.
supporting the other scene?
What? Yeah, what?
support a child. now
He's
I
like Chuck
support
E.
a
Cheese,
child.
man. That place is the shit.
And I battle with this because like I don't get out to a lot of shows anymore. It just doesn't happen when like you've got kids at home that go to sleep at 8 and you got to be up and like. I mean, and it's not like woe is me at all. I'm so happy. Like I've been to so many shows, and like I'll go to ones every once in a while, and like, I mean, there's Gasa Gasa just came back.
There's
That
also
rules.
there's the
Tipitina's.
Tipitina's. Yeah, there's the free store that is doing punk shows all
Yeah.
ages, and like when I say free store, it is quite literally you walk in and there are clothes that are in good condition. There's books. There's like houseware, like things that it's just free. And they do punk shows, and it's awesome. And aligned with what D-Ray just said, I mean, yeah, I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. Like, I get to shows when I can, but I think, like, to an extent, you know, I'm pushing 40. Like, I get to my shows as much as I can, but I got to prioritize family stuff. So
There is, like, if you go to New Orleans, there's a website called noladiy.org. And
That's
like
good.
all ages, every day. It's just like lists of shows that are happening that are punk, like all over the city every day.
That's a great
Yeah,
tip.
that's what I would say.
You have a 4 and a 1-year-old. How the fuck are you awake?
Because he's on tour. We're getting more sleep on tour than we do at home.
I live for this. Well, I live for my family and myself first, but then also, like, being able to do something like be out on the road and like play these shows. Like, opening for RX Bandits is like absolutely a bucket list dream come true. Never thought it would happen type thing. So like,
Did you guys put this like I listened to a bunch of interviews, right? And in every interview, you mentioned the RX Bandits.
They were
so
a
did you guys
life-changing
just
band.
like put this into existence?
They were a life-changing band for all of us.
yeah, and they've become friends too.
Yeah, and we've become friends over the years. They came and played the block party, the Community Records block party that we put on in 2010, 2011. Then Matt came to New Orleans in 2019 and did some solo shows. Yeah. I don't remember what I was talking about. Somebody just touched my pants.
That's what happens when you don't leave the tour keys in an accessible spot.
Right. Good thing we got 2 pairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our like dream, our destiny. Like as far as I can tell, like I remember wanting to play music since I was like 5 or 6 years old. Like this is like a dream come true. And we've got families at home that support it and love us for being able to do it, you know? And
And we love you for doing it.
thank you. That's the best part.
All right, guys. Last question. It's about Good Time Records here.
Bad time.
Or, but, good. Well, good time. So, do y'all ever kick yourself for not releasing Kill Lincoln's album in 2011?
Oh, Community Records?
Community
Good Time
Records.
Records?
Yeah, apparently I got Bad Time and Good Time mixed
like
up
that.
there.
No, because look where we are.
Yes and no, but I would land more on the side of no because I look at what Mike has done
Right.
with and everyone around Mike, what
Right.
they've done with Bad Time Records, and it's like they've earned and deserve everything that they have, and we're lucky that we get to be a peripheral part of it. And like, there is part of me is wow, sure, absolutely, Kill Lincoln deserves to be a part of community at the time. But you can't. I'm not thinking about it as much of a regret as like that's part of our story. That's part of Mike's story, and like here we are now, where now I get to like admire what Mike is doing and get to be a part of it, and then I think vice versa. But you know, it's no regret.
Yeah, it's kind of it influenced such an awesome big thing. You know, who knows what would have happened if the path would have gone the other way.
It's crazy.
It's kind of like Asian Man Records not signing Fatter Than Albert way back in the day, and then Greg started Community Records, and now here we are.
Fatter Than Albert is an amazing band, guys. I didn't bring them up because I know you've talked about them. You've talked about your time in Fatter Than Albert so much. So,
Thanks.
but I do want to say, where can my audience find you? What's coming up? Possibly a new album in the works, maybe?
You can find us in New Orleans.
Instagram, Facebook, or Instagram and Facebook, Bad Operation. We got websites.
Yeah, we have social media. Keep up with us there. For the foreseeable future, we are definitely not hibernating, but we're working inwards. We'll just say that.
You could say we're working on new material.
Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Inwards.
Okay.
Not
fair
working on anything.
Not working on shit. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And definitely go check them out. Pick it up, Dallas.
Austin Young Show. Austin Young Show. Austin Young Show.